Samantha from Decimo Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to coat these beads with translucent liquid clay. So I'm going to start with this one. Now the reason we have to coat with liquid clay is because we can't sand with the mixed media, and I want it to be shiny. You could leave it matte if you wanted to, so long as you smooth away fingerprints and things like that. And the liquid clay that you want to use is Kato because it's nice and shiny and clear. And now you can use a brush to apply your liquid clay, but I like to use my finger, which is just a personal preference. It's not necessarily the only way you can apply your liquid clay. I just find that it goes smoother that way. So I'm just busy squeezing some of that on there. And now I'm being careful to not get it on the edges, because I might want to apply this to the back as well. I'll have a look at how the back looks compared to the front. I might choose to have one matte side and one shiny side. We'll have to see. I like making these decisions as I go. But I'm just going to focus on smoothing this out as evenly as possible. I'm just going to put a little bit more liquid clay there. There we go. So check that you've got the entire area. You don't want any bits that are missing liquid clay. And smooth off your sides by just dragging your finger along it and then wiping, because you don't want liquid clay on your edges. Look for any bumps or things that might possibly be hairs, and then smooth over those areas again so that you're going to get a nice smooth finish. Okay, then bring over your heat gun, switch it to your hottest setting and lowest wind speed, and heat. And while you're going, try and heat the sides. Heat it from the bottom up so that you're not blowing liquid clay off the edge of your bead. Now I just want to point something out. This side is basically cured, the entire piece is basically cured, but hopefully the camera is going to pick up the difference between over here and over here. Right here the liquid clay has completely cured, so you'll be able to see the shimmer of the pearl against the non-shimmer of the black, and you should be able to see the shine of the metal leaf. If it appears cloudy, you need to heat it more. So just make sure that you do this part properly. And then when you're happy with it, back away with your heat gun, because you don't want to overheat the clay. The liquid clay cures at a much higher temperature compared to your actual clay, and so this is why you're going to be doing it with a heat gun and not putting it in the oven, because in the oven the liquid clay would not cure properly, and so you must cure it with your heat gun to make it look good. Just the problem is sometimes if you're a little bit too aggressive with the heat, you can burn your bead. So just only heat it for as long as necessary and then leave it to cool. Don't touch the front while it's hot, because you can introduce fingerprints. So I'll just pop this aside to dry, and I'm going to coat the top of this one as well. Hopefully you can see the difference here on how nice and clear and shiny this is versus what a matte look this has. So I'm probably going to be doing the backs as well, which I will show as soon as I have done the front of this one, which is basically the same as the other one. There we go. Now they're both really nice and shiny. And so this one's basically cooled off, so I can show you what it looks like. You can see what a lovely gloss it gives. It's such an easy way to get a perfect, almost resin-like gloss to it. So this is actually what I prefer to use instead of resin on domed beads, because the UV resins can be a little bit fiddly and they can be a little bit hard to use. I'm busy practicing with them at the moment, but I just prefer the liquid clay because you don't have to worry about any of the surface effects getting upset with the varnish that you're using, because it's the liquid clay. So if your clay is compatible with the surface effect, your liquid clay will be compatible. So you don't have to worry about anything reacting and things like that. It sticks absolutely perfectly to the clay. You will not be able to get this off at all. So it's a very durable varnish or finish, and it just looks so shiny and pretty, and it's actually one of my favourite finishes. So you can see here how much better this looks. Metallic quality really comes out. So you can see the difference between the two sides. So it's actually quite striking. So I do want to do the other sides. So what I'm going to do is you need to wait for your surface to cool down, because if you stick this down, you're going to find that your liquid clay is going to get a little bit of a flat spot to it, because your tile will be hot at this point. So I'm going to get a different tile that is already cool. Okay, so we got that sorted out. Nice and cool, which is what we want. So again, this time you have to be a little careful. You need to make sure that you put in as little liquid clay as you can, enough to provide a good coat, but not enough that it's going to be dripping all towards the center of your piece. So just, it's a little bit harder on the curved pieces that are curving inward than those that are curving outward. So don't apply too much liquid clay. That which I put in was probably, it was enough. You can always add, but it's very hard to take away. So add a little bit of liquid clay and then add more if necessary. And this way you'll find the process a lot easier. Okay, make sure to not get any of this liquid clay that is fresh on the back of your bead, or the front of your bead in this case, I guess. Then bring over your heat gun, same settings, and heat. And this time, instead of heating from the edges, you heat from inside outward. There we go. Let's pick this up. Check this side to make sure that it is okay and that there aren't any dull spots. And that is how you would coat your back. And you can see it gives a beautiful finish to the back, which I absolutely love. It looks much better than this one. So I'm going to coat this one as well, and then I'll show you them in depth. Okay, so now I can show you these in depth. So you can see how nice and shiny that side is, and this side's also really pretty. I love how that gold leaf looks on the back. So that's that one, and when it's cooled it's going to be really nice and smooth to the touch. It won't have the same feel as sanded and buffed polymer clay, which has a really beautiful silky feel to it. This will have a more almost plasticky feeling to it. So I definitely prefer sanded and buffed polymer clay pieces, but if you can't do that, the liquid clay has a really nice finish to it as well. So you can see the back there looks really stunning. It brings out that black and makes that pearl white show up quite a bit more than when it was matte. So that's basically it for how to coat your pieces with liquid clay, and so I do hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.